Hi, this is Jacob Arlachipe, and this is my cell analogy in which I compare a cell to my own house. And first up is my parents' room, which represents the nucleus because it houses all of the directions and blueprints that make up the cell. And the nucleus also contains the nucleolus at the center. And my parents represent the nucleolus because they're at the center of the nucleus and make all the decisions and give directions to all the organelles in the cell. Now, next up is the pantry, which represents the smooth endoplasmic reticulum because the smoothie are responsible for creating and storing lipids, which are fats, oils, and waxes. And the pantry is similar because it also stores and creates foods that qualify as lipids. Next up is the hallways, which represent the rough endoplasmic reticulum because they both allow transport of organelles, proteins, etc. Next up is the washer and dryer, which represent the Golgi apparatus because the Golgi takes in and modifies proteins and then releases them, just like the washer and dryer take in clothes, modify them, and release them. Next up is the fuse box, which represents the mitochondria because both of them provide the cell with energy or electricity so the cell can function properly. The solar panels. Next up is the solar panels, which represent chloroplasts because the panels use sunlight from the sun to create energy that is available for the cell to use, just like in plant cells. Next up is the refrigerator, which represents the vacuole because they both contain a stable amount of water and free space to store vital materials that the cell can utilize in order to survive. Next up is the trash cans, which represent the lysosomes because it houses all of the waste of the cell, and it also helps to clean up or break down anything that needs to be within the cell. Next up is the connecting walls of the house, which represent the cytoskeleton because they give the cell support and hold it together so it does not collapse on itself. Next up are the kids of the house, which are my brothers and I, and they represent the centrioles because they both help to maintain the organization of the cells. Centrioles organize the assembly of microtubules, while the kids have chores that maintain cleanliness and organization of the cell. And lastly, the front door, which represents the plasma membrane because it is in charge of letting organisms enter and leave the cell. For part 2, we are going to have to choose an organelle to boot off or stop using, and the organelle I'm choosing is the chloroplast. And this is because chloroplasts are not really needed. Well, as you can say, they're only a part of plants. And animal cells can continue functioning properly without these chloroplasts because they get the nutrients they need from other organelles and such as energy. They get it from mitochondria instead of needing the chloroplast to undergo photosynthesis in order to get energy. And just like in my house, we have the fuse box, which can be used for energy or electricity. And the solar panels are actually not really needed because they provide, the fuse box is already providing electricity and energy to the house. And I feel like the chloroplasts or solar panels, both of them, because they are the same thing, they are not necessary, as you can say, and they're just like an add-on to the whole entire cell. So thank you for listening, and this is my cell analogy and I'm comparing my cell to a house. Thank you.